Road trip day 3, and I've decided that road trips aren't easy. This morning I went to the Nikkei Internment Memorial Center, but partway through, the SD card that I had filled up, and when I got back to the car, the SD card was gone. If I hadn't backed up last night, I would have lost 2 days of road trip footage. Meanwhile, the check engine light on my 1999 Honda Civic is still on. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. For now, I've just made the decision to press on and get to Cranbrook. If it turns out that something needs immediate attention, then I'll have to contact a mechanic or something. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Let's keep rolling. Right now I'm on my way east from New Denver towards Kaslo, and we're gonna make a stop at lunchtime. It's actually a pretty little town, Kaslo is. Very historic. I like the old architecture along here. There's a city hall, 1898. An old church. And there she is, our next stop, the SS Moyie.
Sitting alongside Front Street in Kaslo, BC is the SS Moyie, a paddle steamwheeler which worked an 87-mile-long route on the Kootenay Lake between 1898 and 1957. After nearly 60 years in service, she was sold to the town of Kaslo and restored as a National Historic Site. The Moyie is now preserved as the world's oldest intact passenger steamwheeler. Sadly, the Moyie's adventures on the lake are over, but a replica of the Moyie currently runs at a heritage park in Calgary, Alberta.
So at my stop in Kaslo, I was visiting the SS Moyie, which was the world's oldest intact passenger sternwheeler. That was pretty cool to see. I'm going to do a full video on that one with the history of the Moyie, so you can expect to see that one soon. Well, looks like we might be waiting for another ferry. It's going to be tight getting on this ferry. The guy says it holds about 24 vehicles, and right now I'm sitting at vehicle number 24. So either I'm going to sneak onto this ferry, or looks like I'm waiting another 50 minutes to get on to the next ferry.
Up until 2021, the Kootenay Lake Ferry was the longest free scenic ferry carrying vehicles in the world. The ferry crosses Kootenay Lake, which is a long, narrow, and deep fjord-like lake and one of the largest lakes in British Columbia, running 104 kilometers in length, but only 3 to 5 kilometers wide. The government of British Columbia has been operating a ferry on Kootenay Lake since 1931, although the current crossing has only been in operation since 1947. Fares on this ferry were eliminated in 1963 after the opening of the Salmo-Kriston Highway over the Kootenay Pass. The current crossing is about 8 kilometers in length and takes about 35 minutes. In 2020, construction began on a new electric-ready vessel to replace the current ferry. That ship is scheduled to enter service in 2023, doubling the current vehicle capacity, and will be fully converted to electric propulsion by 2030.
Continue for 39 kilometers.
And away we go. I'm glad we didn't have to wait an extra sailing wait there. That would have set us back an extra hour. The Glass House.
The Glass House, built by David H. Brown, is located on the east shore of Kootenay Lake, adjacent to BC's Highway 3A. Brown began construction of his family home in 1952 using approximately 500,000 empty embalming fluid bottles, which otherwise would have been discarded as waste, and is built with a layer of bottles with the neck facing towards the inside and reinforced by concrete. This unusual construction material gives the house a fantasy castle-like appearance. In addition to the main house, there are several other structures, including a wishing well with a water wheel, an archway, a garden shed, a bridge, and several towers, all constructed with the same technique.
So I just stopped at the Boswell Bottle House, and I'm way more excited than I should be about that, but it's so rare you get to visit one of these classic roadside attractions. It's just something completely unique that somebody built from the ground up, and I just loved seeing that. Stop for a quick leg stretch in YAHK, BC. First, this property behind me caught my attention with its old-fashioned caboose. Then I saw the YAHK Soap and Candle Company, which actually has goats on a roof. On top of that, there's an ice cream parlor called Two Scoop Steve. And then, not to be outdone, just next door, Two Pump Paul's.
Next right onto 9th Avenue North, then turn left onto Baker Street.
Entering Cranbrook.
Take the next left onto Baker Street, then your destination will be on the right. Your destination is on the right.
And finally, here's our stop for the night. This is the Mount Baker Heritage Hotel.
The Mount Baker Hotel, located in downtown Cranbrook, opened its doors in October 1923. At that time, the prestigious Baker Hotel had the largest and finest rooms available and offered the most sophisticated accommodations in the area. Although the esteem of the Baker Hotel carried on for many decades, it slowly began to fall into decay until it was acquired by Greg Eaton in 2018. Eaton aims to restore this historic landmark to its former glory and has begun renovations to transform the property into a luxury boutique hotel.
And this is tonight's dinner spot, the Fire Hall.
Just down the street from the Mount Baker Hotel is the FIREHALL Bistro, a popular eatery and tap room situated in a heritage building that once served as the city's fire hall. Fire Hall number 1 was constructed in 1929 and it was used by Cranbrook's Fire and Emergency Services until 2011, when operations were moved to a new fire hall on 2nd Street South. The original heritage building has been lovingly restored, and the charm of the old building can still be seen in the roll-up truck doors, a fire pole, and a bell, all housed inside the red brick building. The FIREHALL Bistro caters to families, foodies, outdoor enthusiasts, and professionals who enjoy a good brew. And at any time, they have over 20 British Columbia brews on tap. Like the Mount Baker Hotel, the restoration of the FIREHALL Bistro has contributed towards the renovation and reinvigoration of downtown Cranbrook. That's it for tonight. Tomorrow I continue heading east towards the edge of Alberta to check out the Frank Slide.